This guy was literally missing for 22 years. They found him was a picture on Google Maps.
I know what you're thinking. That's an alien. We call this a salp.
Are they slits or are they rectangles?
Yeah. More debt in the system than there is currency in existence to pay the debt.
What's up, YouTube? Today, we'll be looking at disturbing TikToks that'll make you question reality. So without further ado, welcome to Adam Strain Reacts. Let's get her done.
This guy was literally missing for 22 years. The only reason why they found him was a picture on Google Maps.
Oh, shit.
And it was in a nice ass suburban neighborhood. The day he went missing, he told his girlfriend that he was gonna go to the club. No like missing person alerts, no Amber alerts for this guy. His family was like, he probably got abducted. We're not gonna do anything about this because no one's gonna find him. There's no like reports on him. One day, randomly, 22 years after, this guy's on Google Maps and then he's looking at this little lake with a bunch of suburban houses, right? And then he sees a little car by the side of the lake. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna zoom in, tilt my head a little. And he's like, okay, what the heck? I'm gonna report this to the police. This is weird, right? So police come, pull the car out and it has a bunch of algae, right? They flip the car. In the car, there's still a skeleton with the seat still buckled.
Oh, shit. That's
you know
crazy.
What I mean? This is the sidewalk. And this is the car that's been there for 22 years.
Damn.
Like
and just
people,
nobody like paid attention to it.
Like kids grew up from 0 to 20 probably with that thing in their backyard.
You knew there was a car in the lake, but nobody would have thought a body was in the car.
Oh, we got your ass. We got your ass now. So as you know, there was a painting in 1562 that showed humans riding what we would call a dinosaur. And many people said it could not be. Some said dinosaurs don't even exist. Others said dinosaurs and humans didn't live at the same time. All right, okay. Let me ask you a question. Can somebody tell me why has China got the same creature on the wall? Oh, you son of a bitch. Before you say that's a dragon, you can clearly see that the Chinese know the difference between dragons. That's a dragon. And that thing at the top is a long-necked dinosaur. So the Flintstones was telling the truth. It's real. Humans, dinosaurs, and dragons at one time all lived together.
Are you saying the map?
In this channel, we haven't really dug that deep into the dinosaur stuff. But what do you guys think about that idea? About the possibility of the cohabitation between the period of the evolution of the humans and the existence of the dinosaurs? Because theoretically, they said in our textbooks that the dinosaurs disappeared 60 plus million years ago. So I guess that timeline doesn't work. So what do you guys think would explain that? Let me know down below. And let's keep on rocking.
Is wrong?
Oh dear, yes. Look at Greenland.
Okay.
Now look at Africa.
Okay.
The two land masses appear to be roughly the same size.
Yes.
Would it blow your mind if I told you that Africa is in reality 14 times larger?
Yes.
Here we have Europe, drawn considerably larger than South America. When it's 6.9 million square miles, South America is almost double the size of Europe's 3.8 million.
Alaska appears 3 times as large as Mexico, when Mexico is larger by 0.1 million square miles.
Germany appears in the middle of the map when it's in the northernmost quarter of the Earth.
Wait. Relative size is one thing, but you're telling me that Germany isn't where we think it is?
Nothing's where you think it is.
Where is it?
I'm glad you asked. The Peters projection.
It has fidelity of axis.
Fidelity of position.
East-west lines are parallel and intersect north-south axes at right angles.
What the hell is that?
It's where you've been living this whole time.
Why are they dunking chicken and selling it to us?
This is the first time in human history we have been dunking chicken in chlorine, labeling it as organic, and people are buying it. 97% of chickens processed through USDA are bathed in it, and this includes certified organic. In industrial farming, such large volumes of chicken are processed all in the same bath, so if one chicken contains like salmonella, that'll spread to the rest of them. Therefore, the USDA mandates another layer of sanitation, allowing up to 50 parts per million of chlorine. Wash is actually banned in the European Union, and US federal regulations do not require disclosure of sanitation ingredients on packaging. The better alternative is air chilled, where the birds are passed through a cold chamber rather than a chlorine bath, and this also eliminates contamination risk without getting chlorine.
If you borrow the very first
That's pretty crazy. I always say the food If we'd be able to produce our own food, we'd be a step ahead of the game, that's for sure. One thing that really bothers me is not only the difference in prices sometimes between articles here and articles in, let's say, Europe. What really bothers me is that when you compare here between Europe, sometimes the things that are banned down there somehow are accepted here. And the companies that sell here, when they sell down there, they sell a better product. So like, let's say something like Orangina, which is a drink that's based with sparkly water and orange juice. If you go down there, it's made with that. Actually, I think Fanta, like the orange Fanta, is made of orange juice when you go into Europe. And in the United States, it's made of artificial juice and corn syrup. So just food for thought. I just find it weird that we have different regulations in different places and that somehow we always seem to be the ones that are consuming the things that are more questionable. Do you guys see a trend towards that? Let me know down below if you think the same way or if you think the opposite or if you have any opposite examples. Food is something that I'm very interested in. So let me know down below and let's keep on rocking.
Dollar into existence, and that's the only dollar that exists on the planet. But you promise to pay it back plus another dollar's worth of interest. Where do you get the second dollar to pay the interest? The answer is that you have to borrow that one into existence and promise to pay it back with interest as well. So now there are $2 in existence, but you owe $4, and so on and so on. The result is there's never enough currency to pay the debt. There is always more debt in the system than there is currency in existence to pay the debt. Therefore, the whole system is impossible. It is finite. It will come to an end one day. What would happen if the government stopped borrowing to do deficit spending? Are the payments on those treasury bonds going to stop? What would happen if the public stopped borrowing and going deeper into debt? Are your house and car payments going to stop? No. There is a payment due every month on the principal plus the interest on every dollar in existence, and those payments do not stop. If we stop borrowing, then no new currency is created to replace the currency that we used to make those payments. Whether you're making a payment on a loan or paying tax to make a payment on a bond, the portion of the payment that goes to pay off the principal extinguishes that portion of the debt. But the debt also extinguishes the currency. Currency and debt are like matter and antimatter. When they meet, they annihilate each other. If we just pay off the principal only on all the loans and bonds that exist, the entire currency supply just vanishes. So if we don't go deeper into debt every year, look what happens. The whole thing goes into a deflationary collapse under the weight of those payments. Politicians and pundits alike talk about balancing the budget, paying down the debt, and living within our means. They don't understand that that is deflationary. It is impossible to do under our current monetary system without collapsing the whole economy. This is why any talk of a debt ceiling is not only ridiculous, it's delusional. The system is designed to require ever-increasing levels of debt just to continue. And that's why politicians will always kick the can down the road and raise this so-called debt ceiling over and over again until the whole system finally collapses under its own weight.
The other reason that they got rid of the bells, that was...
I find that when we start looking at macroeconomics, it shows you the difference in the control that we're under. Like, you know, when you're under debt or when you owe money or when you're signing a contract, it seems like it's real. It really does seem like it's real, and the stress is real and the effect is real. But when you start looking at the macroeconomics and who's funding who and who owes what to who and what is even possible to be repaid, you sort of see that there's a discrepancy between what's real and what's artificial in this whole monetary value system. So I find it super interesting to look at macroeconomics. It makes things a bit more obvious as to what we're facing as individuals when we're within this financial system. I don't know if any of that made sense to you. Let me know down below what you guys think, and let's keep on rocking.
People don't know is because the bells have languages written on them. If you look at the old bells of the 1940s all the way back to the 1700s, there's actually scripture that is written on the bells, and there's old languages in which we don't use anymore. And if you think about it, old languages would tell you something different. There's also lots of angels on the bells. There also used to be lots of angels on top of the buildings. So you kind of seeing how like certain things have been kind of like wiped away. And because of that, it's changed the way that people think. When you don't see angels anymore and you don't see this ancient scripture and you don't see these ancient languages, you believe the narrative. So that is why a lot of those bells have disappeared. And with bells, you can get rid of storms, you know, when you ring the bell. You can also ring the bell if there's a weirdo in your town, so you guys can all find that person and get rid of that person and kick them out. And then on top of it, people, and also plants, all the birds and everything else. This is why you hear like birds chirping. They love wind chimes. They love sound effects like that. That's the connection to the bells. So.
Hey, yo, pause. I know what you're thinking. That's an alien. We call this a salp, and low-key, I don't think they're from this planet. They move around and eat by contracting their muscles to draw water into their bodies through an oral siphon, and shoot that water out from the back, which propels them forward. They're neither fish nor jellyfish, but a special type of animal called a tunicate, also officially known as sea squirts. Soft, sticky, and always wet, they rely on their muscular grip to feed on tiny phytoplankton as their primary food source, which is honestly the least interesting thing about them, because they also have the ability to clone themselves, with a single salp capable of replicating itself into a long chain containing dozens of them tens of meters long. And when linked, they move in complete sync with each other, each salp reacting to the other's rhythms within milliseconds. More like neurons in a brain rather than individual creatures. Some biologists speculate this insane coordination may be a sort of primitive distributed intelligence, where many salps connected together all retain a singular consciousness. And they also have crazy regenerative abilities, with even a tiny piece of one capable of growing into a complete new salp. And as you can tell, they're also almost completely transparent. You can see all of their internal organs from the outside, practically invisible in our oceans. And before you say anything,
is it just me or that looks CGI? Like I have a hard time wrapping my brain around what I was seeing. Like he was speaking as if it was real, but really all of the images, it's kind of hard to believe. Gee whiz, that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So it sucks in the water from the front, creates some sort of a compression effect as it gets the nutrients out of the water, and then it just shoots the water out of the back to propulse itself forward. Amazing, amazing design. I've never heard of anything like that. Makes me think of the octopus and the squid that we see. Some people say that they're like aliens and they're ancient, they come from somewhere else, but that thing gives me the same exact vibe, and it actually. Sometimes I doubt myself. Is it AI? Is it CGI? It looks almost unreal. Did you guys get the same feeling watching that video? Or am I just losing it? Let me know down below, and let's keep on rocking.
Morbid Facts, Part 802. Trailer Park Boys star Mike Smith, best known as the harmless wide-eyed Bubbles, has been charged with Nova Scotia for an incident that allegedly happened back in 2017, a case that stayed buried for nearly 8 years before finally surfacing in court. The identity of the victim is under a strict publication ban, but Smith is now legally barred from contacting them or going anywhere near their work, home, or school. The charge has forced him to step away from the Trailer Park Boys production company, tainting the wholesome persona millions have associated with him. Deep inside a sulfur-filled cave on the Albania-Greece border, scientists have uncovered the largest spiderweb ever recorded, an enormous 106-meter sheet stretched across the cavern's walls. Hundreds of thousands of spiders from two normally rival species have formed a massive cooperative colony, a terrifying behavior never before seen in spiders. The cave's toxic, sunless environment created a self-sustaining ecosystem powered by sulfur-eating microbes, which attracted swarms of insects, which in turn supplied this spider megacity with endless food. The web is so dense and vast, it looks like the cave is wrapped in ghostly white fabric, proof that life can evolve into something terrifyingly efficient when pushed into extreme conditions.
Have y'all seen this bridge? Wait, what the? This is called the Poughkeepsie Bridge, and it's the only interesting thing in New York. That's because this ain't just any old bridge. It is the longest elevated pedestrian footbridge in the entire world. Rises 212 feet above the Hudson River, and it's more than 6,000 feet long. That's a length of almost 1.3 miles. Technically, this isn't the longest pedestrian footbridge in the world. That's a title that's technically held by this zoo in Colorado that has a footbridge that's almost 8,000 feet long. But this thing's like a damn boardwalk, okay? That's some weak sauce for the longest bridge in the world, and I therefore refuse to recognize it. The reason that this bridge is objectively cooler than that thing in Colorado is because it wasn't always a footbridge. It was first built in the 1880s as one of the only train bridges across the Hudson. And it was a big deal when it opened, with this cantilever steel design being an engineering marvel of the day. It would stay in service as a train bridge for almost 100 years until the industry on the East Coast began to wane. In May of 1974, sparks from a train crossing the bridge set fire to its rail ties. While it was ultimately brought under control, this fire would claim 700 feet of the bridge's deck. Warping to the steel caused from the immense heat of this fire essentially was the final nail in the coffin for its use as a train bridge. This very easily could have been the end of the story. Bridge is damaged, just knock it over, who needs the thing anyway? Just a few years later, it got added to the National Register of Historic Places. Many years and a lot of funding later, was finally opened as the longest elevated pedestrian footbridge in the world in 2009, preserving this engineering marvel for generations to come. If you recognize this bridge, well, you're in luck because I'm giving a live show in Poughkeepsie tonight. Still a few tickets available, link is in my bio, and now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go walk across this bridge. When I first saw this, I was like, there ain't no way that town is actually built inside a meteor crater. I mean, look at that, it's just too good to be true. Look at how circular that is. So I looked into it, and that's where I found that this town is absolutely built inside a meteor crater, and that this town is probably the least interesting thing about this meteor crater. This is the town of Nordlingen in Germany, and it's located inside the Nordlinger Rice impact crater. And you gotta be like, yeah, no shit, look at how circular that is. Of course it's an impact crater. Yeah, that's what I thought too. But here's an actual map of that impact crater. It's 15 miles in diameter. While technically that's true, it's a little misleading because it makes you think this is the crater. But the real crazy thing about this crater is it has a mineral found nowhere else in the world. It's called moldavite. It looks like this. It was a type of projectile glass that was formed when this meteor impacted the ground 15 million years ago. If you like geology, it's super cool because it's really fucking rare and only comes from this one crater. And if you're a crystal girly, it's really cool because it's super fucking powerful and can make you explode people with your mind. If you want to learn more about cool archaeology and natural science, come check me out over on YouTube, Mini Minute Man.
I guess
That's pretty interesting. I had never heard about the fact that that meteorite had created the green glass, because basically that's what is guessed and supposed that would happen if you were to have a nuclear bomb explode in a desert setting. It would sort of melt the sand into glass, and it would have a green tint. So it's very interesting to see that they find pieces of that green glass. I'd have to look it up a bit more. I haven't really looked into that, but it's just interesting to see the fact that they find that. Do you guys think that makes sense, that that we got impacted by such big pieces, and that we remain the way we are today? My big problem with the meteors and all that is the fact that it seems like it doesn't really happen on the regular. It kind of makes me think of like, they show you videos of the space station, of spacewalks and all that stuff, but then after they show you also a picture of the space junk around Earth, and it's like it doesn't coincide. And I feel like this gives me exactly the same vibe. So again, let me know if I'm crazy, and let's keep on rocking.
I'm afraid like other people won't like it.
So what? Who cares? The ones that don't like it, it's not for them anyway. It's only for the ones that will like it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Not everyone is going to resonate to what you have to create, but it doesn't matter. What you're creating isn't for the ones who aren't attracted to it. It's for the ones who are. So who cares about the ones that aren't?
Yeah.
Is that too logical for you?
No, it makes sense.
Do you understand? You have no business measuring yourself against others. You have no business comparing yourself to other people. And what anyone else thinks of you is also none of your business. Yes. Do you understand? Yes. It's none of your business. Because that's not what your business is about. Your business is about being yourself as fully as you can. That's your purpose in life. And if you're not willing to be yourself, all the people that would be attracted to the gift you have to give are being deprived of your gift. Why would you do that to them? Why would you hold yourself back from people that are looking for you? Why would you be that stingy?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
You see, you think In a sense, you're doing something humble. But you're being arrogant and hoarding your gift and keeping it away from people who might need to see it. Relax. You would not be where you are. You would not have the gift you have if there wasn't someone who needed to receive it. As we have often said, there are no one-sided coins. If you have the head, the tail has to be there or there's no coin. You have the head by saying you have the gift. The fact that you have something to give defines the reality that there must, by definition, be somebody in that reality who needs to receive it, or you wouldn't be excited about it. You'd be excited about something else. So don't hold back the gift that you are. Someone is waiting to receive it. Don't make them wait. Yes?
Yes.
And when you don't make them wait, you won't be waiting to be yourself. Channel more of yourself. Yes?
Yes.
Is this helping you?
Yes, thank you very much.
You are very welcome. Stop arguing with creation about your value. If you weren't valuable, you wouldn't exist. Stop arguing with creation. All right?
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Okay, here's the easy.
This guy really has some gems. The problem that I have is the source that he says that it comes from is from channeling this alien or whatever. But really, when you break down what he's saying, you know, kind of makes a lot of sense. And a lot of people I find get caught in the thinking and in the planning and in the trying to know what this sacrifice is going to give me before actually doing it. So you get all this plan done, then you realize, hey, I don't even like doing this. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's a bit lacking of the just doing type of thing. And to come back to what he was saying regarding if you have a skill or if you have a thought or a passion, it's that automatically that means that there's someone that's ready to receive that. I find it funny. It makes me think of the idea of like magnetism. So if you, like he said, if you're the coin and there's this part and this part is just implied. I really like that idea. It kind of makes sense a lot to me. And yeah, like I said, I don't like where it comes from, but did you guys agree with what he said? Did you guys find any flaws? If you found a flaw, let me know. Let me look into it. Let me try to figure it out. And let's keep on rocking.
What does a horse look like? Yeah, 4 legs, fast, muscular. Okay, you got it in your head? What does his pupils look like? Yeah, his eyes. Are they round? Are they oval? Are they slits? Or are they rectangular? Think about it. They are rectangular. When did a horse's eyes become rectangular? Now, I remember a goat's eyes being rectangular. I remember some sort of devilish animal being rectangular, but I don't never remember a horse being rectangular. Now, I'm not an expert. I'm not like a rancher or a cowboy or anything, but I am a human being, and I do remember things, and I just don't remember horses' eyes look like that. Now, if there is some equestrian professional, please let us know. Do you remember? Because you work with horses all the time, but I don't remember horses' eyes looking like that ever. Let me know if I'm tripping. It's us.
Why? I think he's tripping, but I think I'm tripping too. Do you guys remember horses' eyes being like that? I feel like I remember movies where there were horses, and I remember the close-ups, and they're like face to face, kind of giving a kiss. Never jumped out that they were that shape. I always felt like they were like big and brown. Maybe it's just me.
Why is there
Who
absolutely
knows?
no trace of the outside? In fact, why are there no pieces of at all? Not one seat cushion, engine, vertical stabilizer, nothing. 100 tons of titanium, steel, and aluminum gone. The only pieces of debris on the front lawn of the Pentagon were light enough to have been carried by hand, and employees from the Pentagon were seen carrying away a large box shrouded in a blue tarp. What was in that box? Why weren't we allowed to see it? But don't take my word for it. Listen to CNN's Jamie McIntyre as he reports live from the
You know, it might have appeared that way, but from my close-up inspection, there's no evidence of a plane having crashed anywhere near. The only site is the actual side of the building that's crashed in. And as I said, the only pieces left that you can see are small enough that you could pick up in your hand. There are no large nothing like that anywhere around, which would indicate that the entire plane crashed into the side of the and
The biggest thing on the news right now, also a recession indicator, the Starbucks Barista Cup. What? Oh, this is the new Labubu, fam. Oh, you don't know. Starbucks just came out with it's a bear with a Starbucks hat on it and the straw that goes out like this. Okay. This is my theory. This is a whole social experiment that Starbucks did just to expose this whole recession, because all we can look forward to is this $30 luxury cup. Mans were elbowing people in line for it.
Go ahead. Oh, all right, Karen. All right, that's fine. On the photos, bring up the photos.
You're escalating the situation.
I'm not. I'm in line just like everybody else.
Everybody else was in line out there.
I was in line the same way.
Wow. They were arguing, sending threats to Starbucks because the workers got first dibs and they were lining up for 5 hours.
Sneakers, bro.
Fam, sneakers just for this bare cup.
Yeah.
You can get this cup on Amazon without the Starbucks branding for $15.
It is this recession.
But why does everyone want it? Because it's limited. It looks like luxury. Oh, I have it. This is a collection.
Yeah. Because what's going to happen, because the Labubu, I guess, idea is proven, they're just going to start remixing that shit, bro.
And they just made new versions. So it's oh, you have a winter version. You have a Christmas version. Oh, they know exactly what to do. This is peak consumerism at a time of recession.
In 1951, a man named William Albee.
First of all, I cannot imagine being addicted to extremely overpriced coffee and have it be a part of my identity that I'm a Starbucks person. I've been to Starbucks. I just don't find it that crazy. But anyways, that's not even the story. But the fact that people go crazy and would line up, this whole consumerism thing, it's kind of crazy to see that some people are just still in it, I feel like a lot of us sort of disconnected a bit, but to see that, I don't know, it kind of makes me feel weird. What do you guys think about that? You guys think it makes sense to be waiting and to be super mad for this cup that comes from this place that sells you expensive coffee and what? I don't know. I just find it super weird. How come you identify with this corporate machine this much? I don't know. I have a hard time seeing it. So maybe you guys can enlighten me. Let me know down below. And let's keep on rocking.
In 1951, a man named William Albee invented a type of tire that could easily move on any surface. Even if these tires are installed on a truck weighing several thousand kilograms and driven over a person, that person would remain unharmed. This is because, due to the low-pressure tires, the vehicle's entire weight is distributed over a large area, so the person underneath the tire remains unharmed. These low-pressure tires are so remarkable that only a force of 2 kilograms is exerted at each point. They were primarily invented to move on soft and weak surfaces like snow, and they are also known today as Rolligan tires.
Wow, amazing. That's genius. I can't really understand how the person was still under the weight of that part of the car and somehow was occupying almost all of that wheel, even though the wheel is made out of a bubble or whatever. I just don't understand how the weight was distributed where that person didn't get hurt. So if we have any engineers or any physicists in the comments, let me know down below. Kind of confused. Wow. Again, that is complete genius. Wow, I never even thought about that. So you're throwing stuff in the garbage and it's like a never-ending garbage in a way. So you're occupying the same amount of space as you do with the certain amount of garbage collection, but you're actually collecting way more and there's way less garbage visible, at least. Wow. Amazing idea. Amazing idea. And that's a wrap for today, familia. Whether you're tuning in with the sunrise or you're posted up after midnight, I appreciate your time, your energy, your curiosity. And remember, this isn't about truth or fiction. This is about perspective. If this sparked a thought, a laugh, a deeper question, then we did our job. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Keep the convo alive. Like, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell if you're riding a wave, because we're just getting started. Until next time, stay grounded, stay weird, stay critical. I'm Adam Strain, and this has been Adam Strain Reacts. Peace. But now's the time for us to link up. Really think we on the brink up. Making a change from living this strange. Living this strange. Making a change.